Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back on another Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks on how to clutch up in the end game. And for this gameplay I have in the background, I am playing in arena mode, and I had a pretty crazy end game. And I did make a lot of really good decisions in the end game that I'm going to be touching on in this video and fully explain exactly how I was able to clutch out this gameplay. And before we get into the video, I'm going to be hosting a V-Buck giveaway, and if you guys want a chance to win some free V-Buck, all you need to do is to drop a like on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on my notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And for the winner, I'm going to be giving away 2,000 V-Bucks, in which you can buy skins, gliders, pickaxes, anything you want in the item shop, so make sure you guys enter. And as well, if you guys like to add me and support me as a creator in the item shop, all you have to do is go over to the item shop, go down to the bottom right, hit support a creator, and type in my code. My code is Young Humor, and you guys will have me supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so like I said in this video, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to clutch up in the end game, and just some in-game tips and tricks to help you guys win a little bit more. And this really does apply to even if in public matches, and for this gameplay it is an arena, but especially in arena mode, you guys can use these tips to clutch out a lot more games, because I've recently played a lot more arena, and I've definitely gotten a lot better. I've been able to win a lot more games in arena mode, and as well just clutch out in the late game situations, because before, trust me, I played a few scrims and I really wasn't that good, and it was very difficult for me to win at all. So when it comes to clutching on the end game, there's definitely a few things that you want to keep in mind, and that's exactly what I'm talking about in this video. So right before I go into the end game, I think I ended up getting like 1 kill. So from this point on in the video, I'm gonna leave it completely uncut, show you guys exactly what I did to win this gameplay. And I also ran into Nate Hill at the very end, so that was pretty cool. So starting out, there's 22 people left in this game, and my map count's looking not too bad. I do have 500 steel, 100 wood, and 0 brick. Not the best kind of loadout that I'd want, but really not bad at all. I can make deal with it. And in most of the games that I play, I'm not going to have ballers, but for this game we did, and so ballers are a really good way for getting rotations. And one thing that I've seen today personally that has been very effective for rotating in the late game has been the new item that they added. I think it's called the Shadow Bomb or something along those lines. It's super effective for rotating in late game, because if you have like 20 people just trying to look at each other and trying to fight each other, just one of those shadow grenades that you throw yourself, you can run all the way from one side of the circle to the other side, and more times than not, you're not going to get seen at all, and you're not going to get shot at because everyone else is going to be focused on other players. And as well, it's just very difficult to see you, so you're never going to get shot at. It's going to be very good to rotate in the late game. And other good rotations that you can use launch pads, and you can also use rifts. But launch pads, you have to be very careful with them, and especially when you're in arena and you have a little bit higher of points. It's going to be very difficult to go through the air without getting shot at, and that's happened time after time again. I'd have 200 HP, 150 HP going to the air with the launch pad, and by the time I land I have no shield. Because especially in those late games, you're gonna have at least 3 or 4 teams trying to shoot you at the exact same time, and not always you're not always gonna be able to dive straight down, which is gonna allow the other players to get shots on you. So you do have to be kind of in a situation to use it, but it is very good to rotate. And if you do use the launch pad, one really good tip that I can give you guys is when you're using the launch pad to rotate, you usually don't want to rotate until the circle finally starts closing in. If you try to use the launch pad and rotate early, like 15 or 20 seconds early, that's when all the players are going to be focusing on you. But as soon as the zone starts coming in and you do use the launch pad, that's when everyone's looking to fight each other, and a lot of times they're not going to be focused on you because they're going to be looking at the other people coming out of the zone, or other people just looking to rotate. So they're most of the time they're not going to be looking and focusing at you. But if you do rotate early with the launch pad, you can get kind of sprayed out from a lot of different people, and it could be a little bit more risky. And typically my rule of thumb is when I'm playing arena is in the first and second circle, sometimes the third circle, I try to stay to the middle as a zone as I possibly can. That way is if the circle is on the other side of the map, it's not going to be that far of a run because I'm going to be in the middle either way, so it's not going to be too far, and it's not going to take a lot of time and a lot of resources to get over there. So it's just really good, and as well, it's just a lot easier to just rotate and just do everything overall. But when it comes to those late games, I always try to stay close to the edge of the zone. So the first and second circle, I always try to go to the middle, but when it comes to these zones at the end, I always try to, as much as I can, try to stay next to the edge of the circle, because when you're in the middle, unless you're on high ground, it can be very difficult to do anything because you're going to get sprayed at from so many different directions. And so what me and my teammate were doing right here, we're waiting for the zone to finally close in, because once that zone comes in, we can see exactly where the next zone is going to be. And we noticed the zone was going to be on top of that hill. So me and my teammate had ballers, so we were going to go up as much as we can. And I was being very careful because I only had 51 HP in my baller, so if I got sprayed at, I would have to catch myself. And as well, because I'm in ballers, it's going to be a free rotation. Unless they break my baller, they're not going to be doing any damage to me whatsoever. So here we are rotating to the next zone, and we do notice that people are already on high ground. And at this point, we really didn't want to contest it. I mean, at this point you really could, because there's nobody else around, it's just the people on top. But in this situation, I just decided not to challenge at all, just stay low and just try to go for picks that way, try to heal up, do whatever I need to do. And so there's going to be people who are going to try to contest us. I barely missed my shot there, and honestly I choked so bad. I thought I had my SMG right after my shotgun, but I actually had a pistol, so I missed so many shots. Fortunately, I was able to live through that. I really should have died, but sitting down here, I am boxing. I didn't go for the finish right away because I knew his teammate was to the side, and if I felt like I would have waited that extra second or half second going for the elimination, that I would have got shot by his teammate and got knocked. So that's why I laid off of it a little bit. But even though I laid off, I did have smoke grenades, in which I'm using right here, which is gonna allow me to get the elimination. And since I was able to finish off those players, it puts us in a pretty good spot, because they were getting shot from a team to the left, but the team from the left, I'm pretty sure, doesn't know exactly where we are. So we are in a very good spot. We're under all the bases. There's still 18 people left. The zone's coming in. So the zone, after the zone, it's gonna go all the way towards Pleasant Park, and so you guys are gonna see exactly what we did to get to the next zone. But here we are rotating over, going for the loot on the players that we killed. So here in the late game, a lot of times you're gonna be maxed on materials, and most of the time when it comes to maxed on materials, it's usually just your steel, because a lot of people use their wood first. So after you get the kill, a lot of times you're gonna have a ton of extra steel, and if you have a ton of extra steel, extra brick, extra wood, whatever the case may be, if you have those extra mats and say the zone isn't too far, what you can actually do is you can branch out pretty far and then come back and get the extra materials. So you can use those extra materials on the player that you killed to your advantage. You can build an extra base, maybe branch out a little bit more, or whatever the case may be. But in this gameplay, the circle was all the way in Pleasant Park, so we can use the materials to branch out a little bit, but it's not going to be doing too much. We decided we're going to use the launch pad to rotate the next zone. It's going to be our best option, because if not, we're going to be running through so many people. And I noticed the player on top, and since the player was on top, I was going to go right next to his builds, not challenge like on top of him so he can see me. The reason I went towards his builds, because if I glided around the side, he would have had zero angle on me, which would have prevented him from shooting at me. But it didn't really work out because he placed a floor, but he did end up using a launch pad, and I was able to go and get this rift from the other player that used it. And rifts are very, very useful late game. They can be used for a lot of situations, going for high ground and just rotating everything in general, because a lot of people are going to have a hard time looking straight up and getting shots on players in rifts. So when you use rifts, for the most part, you're going to be safe for the time being. And so I'm just really trying to figure out a good place to land. I decided I'm going to try to go for a little bit of high ground just to get a little bit of height. And if you have the materials in the late game, I would say every single time, if you can, you always want to try to go for high ground, because once you're on high ground, you really do have the best possible situation that you can get into, because you're on high ground. There's not too many people that can contest you, and a lot of people are going to be below you fighting each other, so you're going to be able to get those third parties. So another player came into my box and used a rift, so that saves us a lot of time. And from that, we did end up getting top 7, so it gave us 2 extra points. So I'm sitting up top, and I'm gonna probably go for a high ground most likely, because I don't see too many people on it. I'm just kind of cautious where the zone's gonna be. So here I am rotating over, and no one's on high ground, so I have a pretty easy job of taking it. And I see another player use another rift. That was the third rift I was able to get into here in the late game, so that's definitely a major reason why I was able to clutch it out in this game. So here we are, my teammates on high ground contesting the player that he's fighting. So I'm going to dive straight down and get on high ground with him, and there's still players above, so that's why I'm going to place this trap, because if the players want to try to land, they have to land either in the zone or they have to land on my trap and take damage from that. So here we are with 7 people left. I'm dropping down a little bit because I'm trying to be a little bit more conservative on my materials. I have 400 materials, which is more than enough, but since I'm on high ground, I get a ton of shots in this guy, end up getting the knock with the shotgun. And so here we have a total advantage, as you can see from our high ground. We're looking down, we're finding all the players. I'm throwing smoke bombs, getting plenty of tags, doing plenty of damage. I did mess up and accidentally throw the dynamite on top, but here we are, still have a major advantage in this fight, throwing a ton of dynamite and trying to get the other players to fight each other, because the more they're fighting, the more third parties we can get and the more people that are gonna die. And here we are getting top 3. I get another elimination right there, so now it is a 2v2, and at this point we're staying on high ground, being very, very cautious. I noticed a player ramping over. I ended up choking my shot, which is super unfortunate, but it is all good. So I'm going to stay on high ground. It's going to be a 2v1. And so here we're being very careful and making sure we go for the right play. My teammate ends up cracking this guy for 140, and I finished him off with my AR. And I'm not even going to lie, Nate right there put so many traps so quickly. I had no idea that he had a trap on the side and the ceiling. So if I wouldn't have killed him there, he probably would have got me with my trap, but my teammate would have been finished him off because he was low on HP. And with that being said, that's going to wrap up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, hope you guys liked it, and if you guys could drop a like in this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on my notifications to be notified for every single new video, and alright guys, I'll see you next video.